On the 20 slides shown below, I present the original photographs of the Second World War from the German archive, which are in my collection. These photos are from my collection department, Wehrmacht on the Eastern and Western Fronts. If you like it, subscribe to my YouTube, like it, so you don't miss the new weekly presentations. If you would like to order 5 inches by 7 inches copies of these photos from the original, you can specify which photos you would like to receive. Laboratory quality. Enjoy your viewing. Karl Dönitz, the 16th of September 1891, the 24th of December 1980, was a German admiral who briefly succeeded Adolf Hitler as head of state in May 1945, holding the position until the dissolution of the Flensburg government following Germany's unconditional surrender to the Allies days later. As Supreme Commander of the Navy beginning in 1943, he played a major role in the naval history of World War II. He began his career in the Imperial German Navy before World War I. In 1918, he was commanding UB-68, and was taken prisoner of war by British forces. While in a POW camp, he formulated what he later called Rudeltaktik, pack tactic, commonly called Wolf Pack. By the start of the Second World War, Dönitz was Supreme Commander of the Kriegsmarine's U-boat arm, Befehlshaber unter Seeboote, BU. In January 1943, Dönitz achieved the rank of Großadmiral, Grand Admiral, and replaced Grand Admiral Erich Raeder as Commander-in-Chief of the Navy. Dönitz was the main enemy of Allied naval forces in the Battle of the Atlantic. From 1939 to 1943 the U-boats fought effectively but lost the initiative from May 1943. Dönitz ordered his submarines into battle until 1945 to relieve the pressure on other branches of the Wehrmacht armed forces. 648 U-boats were lost, 429 with no survivors. Furthermore, of these, 215 were lost on their first patrol. Around 30,000 of the 40,000 men who served in U-boats perished. On the 30th of April 1945, after the suicide of Adolf Hitler and in accordance with his last will and testament, Dönitz was named Hitler's successor as head of state in what became known as the Goebbels cabinet after his second-in-command, Joseph Goebbels, until Goebbels' suicide led to Dönitz's cabinet being reformed into the Flensburg government instead. On the 7th of May 1945, he ordered Alfred Jodl, Chief of Operations Staff of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht, OKW, to sign the German instruments of surrender in Reims, France, formally ending the war in Europe. Dönitz remained as head of state with the titles of President of Germany and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces until his cabinet was dissolved by the Allied powers on the 23rd of May de facto and on the 5th of June de jure. By his own admission, Dönitz was a dedicated Nazi and supporter of Hitler. Following the war, he was indicted as a major war criminal at the Nuremberg trials on 3 counts: conspiracy to commit crimes against peace, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, planning, initiating, and waging wars of aggression, and crimes against the laws of war. He was found not guilty of committing crimes against humanity, but guilty of committing crimes against peace and war crimes against the laws of war. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. After his release, he lived in a village near Hamburg until his death in 1980. German submarine U-354 was a Type Viking U-boat of Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine during World War II. She carried out 11 patrols before being sunk in the Barents Sea by British warships on the 24th of August 1944. She sank 1 merchant ship and 1 warship, damaged a merchant vessel and caused a warship to be declared a total loss. The submarine was laid down on the 15th of April 1940 at the Flensburger Schiffbaugesellschaft Yard at Flensburg as Yard number 473, launched on the 10th of January 1942 and commissioned on the 22nd of April under the command of Kapitänleutnant Karl-Heinz Herbert. Born, October 19, 1910 Eisenach, Thüringen. Died, February 16, 1955. U-354 served with the 5th U-boat flotilla, for training and then with the 1st flotilla for operations from the 1st of October 1942. She came under the command of the 11th Flotilla on the 15th of October and was reassigned to the 13th Flotilla on the 1st of June 1943. She stayed with that organization until her sinking. U-354 made short trips from Kiel in Germany to Bergen and Skjemmenfjord in Norway between April and October 1942. U-354 from the 2nd of March 1944 until she sunk on the 21st of August 1944 was under Commander Hans-Jürgen Sthamer. In August 1944 U-354 was deployed to search for Murmansk convoy JW-59. On the 22nd of August, northwest of the North Cape, she encountered a carrier group involved in Operation Goodwood, an air attack on the battleship Tirpitz. U-354 damaged the escort carrier Nabob with a fat torpedo, but a second shot, intended as a coup de grace, hit the frigate Bickerton, which was subsequently abandoned and scuttled. Nabob was recovered to Scapa Flow, but declared to be a total loss. 2 days later, on the 24th of August, U-354 found the convoy but was sunk by its escort group, comprising the sloops Mermaid and Peacock, the frigate Loch Dunvegan and the destroyer Keppel. Wilhelm Marschall, the 30th of September 1886, the 20th of March 1976, was a German admiral during World War II. He was also a recipient of the Paula Merite, which he received as commander of the German U-boat UB-105 during World War I. Marschall was born in Augsburg, Kingdom of Bavaria, in 1886. In 1906, he entered the Kaiserliche Marine as a sea cadet. During World War I he served as a watch officer on Kronprinz Wilhelm. In 1916, he was trained as a U-boat commander and captained both UC-74 and UB-105 by war's end. He sank 41 merchant ships and 2 troop ships, for a total of 119,170 GRT, and was awarded the Paula Merite, Germany's highest military honor. The Paula Merite was the Kingdom of Prussia's highest military order for German officers until the end of World War I. In 1942, Marschall was named Commanding Admiral of occupied France and replaced Alfred Salwater as commander of Marine Group in Commando West. On the 1st of February 1943 he was promoted to General Admiral, but was replaced as Western Commander by Theodor Kranker and deactivated later that spring. During the remainder of the war, Marschall was reactivated twice, once as Sonderbevelmächtigter, Special Agent, for the Danube, and once as commander of the Marineerburgkommando West shortly before the end of the war. From 1945-47 he was held as a prisoner of war. Marschall died in Mölln, West Germany, in 1976. Otto von Bülow, the 16th of October 1911, the 5th of January 2006, was a German U-boat commander in World War II, and a captain in the Bundesmarine. He was a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves of Nazi Germany. Bülow was born in Wilhelmshaven as the son of Captain Otto von Bülow, 1874–1930, and Johanna Meyer, 1883–1937. He was descended from the Bülow family, an old aristocratic family from Mecklenburg. On the 5th of June 1937 he married Helga Christiansen, born the 2nd of April 1914 in Rodding, Denmark, then a part of Germany. Bülow was the chairman, 1970 to 1988, and afterwards honorary chairman of the Bülow Family Association. Bülow joined the Kriegsmarine on the 1st of April 1930, and completed his basic training in Stralsund. His first assignment was on the Niobe, a German training ship, from July until October 1930. He then served on the light cruiser Emden until the start of 1932. He then went back to Stralsund for more training, and between 1932 and 1933 he trained at the Naval Academy Mervik. In 1933 he was stationed on the cruiser Deutschland, where he was battery commander. He later served on the Emden, the Schleswig-Holstein, and later on a land-based assignment in Pillau until 1940. In April 1940 Bülow transferred to the U-boat service, and completed his training on the 11th of November 1940. He was posted as commander of the U-3 in the 21st U-boat flotilla. On the 6th of August 1941 he took command of U-404 in the 6th U-boat flotilla. He sank 15 ships whilst in U-404, including a Royal Navy destroyer, HMS Veteran, and damaged 2 other ships. He received the Knight's Cross on the 20th of October 1942, and in April, 1943, the Knight's Cross with oak leaves for the assumed sinking of USS Ranger. On the 1st of September 1943 he was reassigned as commander of the 23rd U-boat flotilla based in Danzig. German submarine U-404 was a Type Viking U-boat built for Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine for service during World War II. She was laid down at the Danziger Werft in the city of the same name on the 4th of June 1940 as Yard Number 105, launched a year later on the 4th of June 1941 and was commissioned on the 6th of August 1941, with Kapitän-Leutnant Otto von Bülow in command. The boat commenced her career with the 6th U-boat flotilla, a training organization on the 6th of August 1941. Before moving on to operations on the 1st of October 1941. U-404 carried out 7 combat patrols, sinking 14 merchantmen and 1 warship for a total of over 71,450 gross register tons GRT and 1,120 tons during the Second World War. She also damaged 2 other ships. The submarine was a member of 13 wolf packs. In May 1945, Bülow was taken prisoner by the British, and was released in August of that year. In 1956 he joined the Bundeswehr and was the garrison chief of Bremerhaven. He received command of the German destroyer Z6 in 1962. In 1963, he became commander of the 3rd Destroyer Squadron. Before he retired in 1970 he was the garrison chief of Hamburg for 5 years. He died in Waldorf. Otto von Schrader, the 18th of March 1888, the 19th of July 1945, was an admiral in the German Navy, Kriegsmarine, during World War II and a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross, Ritterkreuz des Eisernen Kreuzes. The Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross was awarded to recognize extreme battlefield bravery or successful military leadership. As a U-boat commander during World War I he was credited with the sinking of 57 ships for a total of 54,655 gross register tons, GRT, a further 6 ships damaged for a total of 52,333 GRT, including the SS Justitia, and 1 ship taken as prize for a total of 336 GRT. Von Schrader was taken prisoner of war in Norway at the end of World War II. He committed suicide in Norwegian captivity on the 19th of July 1945. Herbert Emil Schulz, the 24th of July 1909, the 3rd of June 1987, was a German submarine commander during World War II. He commanded the U-48 for 8 patrols during the early part of the war, sinking 169,709 gross register tons, GRT, of shipping. Schulz was a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves of Nazi Germany. Schulz was born in Kiel. He joined the Kriegsmarine on 1 April 1930. Schulz underwent a number of officer training courses at the Naval Academy at Mervik before transferring to the German cruiser Leipzig, the 2nd of October 1933, the 7th of October 1934. During this assignment, he was promoted to Oberfeinricht zur See, senior midshipman, on 1 April 1934 and to Lieutenant zur See, acting sub-lieutenant, on 1 October 1934. In May 1937, now an Oberleutnant zur See, Schulz transferred to the U-boat force, taking command of the Type EI U-boat U-2 on 31 January 1938. U-2 was assigned to the U-Bootschulflottille, U-boat school flotilla. He spent the next year and a half training with the sub. On the 22nd of April 1939 Schulz commissioned U-48, a Type 7B U-boat. U-48 was later to become the most successful submarine of the war. She was assigned to the 7th U-boat flotilla, and spent the next 4 months in training. On 1 June 1939 Schulz was promoted to Kapitänleutnant. Schulz was thus awarded the oak leaves to his Knight's Cross on 12 June 1941. The presentation was made on 30 June 1941 by Hitler at the Führer headquarters Wolfschanze, Wolf's Lair, in Rastenburg, now Kętrzyn in Poland. On 27 July 1941 Schulz left U-48 to take command of the 3rd U-boat flotilla operating from La Rochelle, also in France. He served in this capacity until March 1942, when he was assigned to the staff of Marine Group Nord as Admiral Staff Officer for U-boats. He was assigned to the staff of Admiral Karl Dönitz in December 1942. On 1 April 1943 he was promoted to Korvettenkapitän. In March 1944 he was assigned as Commander of Department 2, Marin Mervik, where he served to the end of the war. In August 1945 he was employed by the Allies as commander of the Naval Academy at Mervik near Flensburg and the Heinz Kriegsmarine. In November 1945, now a civilian, he took the job of manager of the naval facilities in Flensburg, Mervik until October 1946. On 2 July 1956, Schulz joined the Bundesmarine of West Germany and served in a string of staff positions. His first disposition was commander of the 3rd Ship Home Department. He served in this capacity from the 2nd of July 1956 to the 15th of February 1959. He then served as Staff Officer Personnel, A1, on the command staff of the naval base, was commander of convoy ships, teaching group leaders at the Naval Academy and head of the Volunteer Adoption Headquarters of the Navy until his retirement on 30 September 1968 with the rank of Kapitän zur See. Schulz died on 3 June 1987 in London. German submarine U-110 was a Type IXB U-boat of Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine that operated during World War II. She was captured by the Royal Navy on 9 May 1941 and provided a number of secret cipher documents to the British. U-110's capture, later given the code name Operation Primrose, was one of the biggest secrets of the war, remaining so for 7 months. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was only told of the capture by Winston Churchill in January 1942. U-110's keel was laid down 1 February 1940 by the Sky-Mag AG Visa, of Bremen, Germany as Yard No. 973. She was launched on 25 August 1940 and commissioned on 21 November with Kapitänleutnant Fritz Julius Lemp in command. Fritz Julius Lemp, the 19th of February 1913 – the 9th of May 1941, was also commander of U-28 and U-30. The boat was part of the second U-boat flotilla from her commissioning date until her loss. Lemp commanded U-110 for her entire career. In an earlier boat, U-30, he was responsible for the sinking of the passenger liner SS Athenia on the first day of the war. The circumstances were such that he was considered for court-martial. He continued, however, to be one of the most successful and rebellious commanders of his day. Operation Primrose, the 9th of May 1941. U-110 survived the attack, but was seriously damaged. HMS Bulldog and Broadway remained in contact after Arbriettia's last attack. Broadway shaped course to ram, but fired 2 depth charges beneath the U-boat instead, in an endeavor to make the crew abandon ship before scuttling her. Lemp announced last stop, everybody out, meaning abandon ship. As the crew turned out onto the U-boat's deck, they came under fire from Bulldog and Broadway with casualties from gunfire and drowning. The British had believed that the German deck gun was to be used and ceased fire when they realized that the U-boat was being abandoned and the crew wanted to surrender. Lemp realized that U-110 was not sinking and attempted to swim back to it to destroy the secret material, and was never seen again. A German eyewitness testified that he was shot in the water by a British sailor, but his fate is not confirmed. Including Lemp, 15 men were killed in the action, and 32 were captured. Radio officer Georg Hogel and the rest of the crew were held at Camp 23, Monteith POW camp at Iroquois Falls, Northern Ontario, Canada, which is now the Monteith Correctional Complex. Bulldog's boarding party, led by Sub-Lieutenant David Baum, got onto U-110 and stripped it of everything portable, including her Kerr's signal code book and Enigma machine. William Stewart Pollock, a former radio operator in the Royal Navy and on loan to Bulldog, was on the second boat to board U-110. He retrieved the Enigma machine and books as they looked out of place in the radio room. U-110 was taken in tow back toward Britain, but sank en route to Iceland. The documents captured from U-110 helped Bletchley Park codebreakers solve Reserve Handverfahren, a reserve German hand cipher. Eric Top, the 2nd of July 1914, the 26th of December 2005, was a German U-boat commander of World War II. He was a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves and swords of Nazi Germany. He sank 35 ships for a total of 197,460 gross register tons, GRT. On the 5th of October 1937, Eric Top started his U-boat training at the U-boat school in Neustadt in Holstein and then became instruction officer. Top was then posted to the Wegener flotilla on the 26th of September 1938. There, he was appointed first watch officer on U-46 under the command of Kapitänleutnant Herbert Solar. On the 1st of April 1939, Top was promoted to Oberleutnant zur See, sub-lieutenant. World War II commenced following the German invasion of Poland on the 1st of September 1939. U-46, under the command of Solar, had already been at sea since 19 August, returning to port on the 15th of September. Top sailed on 3 further patrols on U-46. For his service on U-46, Top was awarded the U-boat War Badge, U-boot Kriegsmarine, on the 7th of November 1939 and the Iron Cross Second Class, Eisernes Kreuz Zweite Klasse, in January 1940. On the 1st of May 1940, he was transferred to the 1st U-boat flotilla. On the 4th of December 1940, Top took command of U-552 and commissioned the U-boat into the 7th U-boat flotilla. Following sea trials and training, Top, with Lieutenant Sir C. Siegfried Koichka as his second watch officer, took U-552 on its first war patrol on 13 February 1941. After the war, he served with the Federal German Navy, reaching the rank of Konteradmiral, Rear Admiral. He later served in NATO. After retiring from the Bundsmarine, for a few years Top was a technical advisor to the German shipyard WWII. His service as a NATO advisor was loosely portrayed, as Commodore Wolfgang Skupke, in the 1965 movie The Bedford Incident. His memoirs The Odyssey of a U-Boat Commander, The Recollections of Eric Top was published in 1992. When Top was asked in 1996 by publisher/historian Theodore P. Savas to contribute a foreword for a collection of essays on German U-boat commanders, he instead submitted a contribution about his close friend Engelbert Indras, who was lost with his crew and boat U-567 off Gibraltar in late December 1941. Engelbert Indras, German, Engelbert Indras, the 2nd of March 1911, the 21st of December 1941, was a German U-boat commander in World War II. He commanded the U-46 and the U-567, being credited with sinking 22 ships on 10 patrols, for a total of 118,528 gross register tons, GRT, of Allied shipping, to purportedly become the 23rd highest claiming U-boat commander of World War II. He was a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves of Nazi Germany. It was Germany's highest military decoration at the time of its presentation to Indras.